All right. So basic English phrases, huh?
Yeah.
We use them all the time, right?
Every day, yeah, without even thinking about it.
You shared this guide with me. Basic English phrases you need to know.
Mm.
Let's unpack it, shall we? So
Yeah.
you walk away from this like feeling even more confident, when you're just chatting with folks.
Yeah, yeah.
Just out and about. What I think is really interesting about these phrases, they seem so simple.
Right, I do, yeah.
But they tell you a lot about, like, the culture and stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. It's not just the words themselves, but the unspoken rules, the subtle cues that they convey. It's fascinating.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Like, take greetings, right? The guide starts with, hello, hi. Like, those are just universal, right? Everyone knows those.
Yeah.
But then it gets into, like, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Okay, we all know those.
Right.
But when do you use them?
Right.
It's not just the time of day, right?
Yeah.
Like if you say good evening to someone, like in the afternoon, in a casual setting.
Yeah, it's going to sound strange.
They're going to be like, what's wrong with this person?
Exactly. Overly formal, a bit odd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it can really make a difference, I think, how people see you.
For sure. It can change your whole perception.
Okay. Then there's that one, we say it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
How are you? You just like say it.
It's automatic.
You don't even think about it. But in the guide, it's saying, it's like a ritual. It's a social ritual.
It is. It is.
Like it's more than just like being nice.
Yeah.
Right.
It's an invitation to connect, to acknowledge the other person, how they're feeling. And, depending on the situation, you get all sorts of responses, right? Sometimes fine is enough, but sometimes it's like the door opens and you're like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. What about like when you first meet somebody?
Okay.
Like introducing yourself? The guide, it suggests, my name is.
Classic.
And then, nice to meet you. I mean, again, like super basic.
Sure.
But is there more to it?
Oh, there's always more to it. Think about the nonverbals, right?
Okay.
You got the handshake. You got the eye contact.
Yeah.
A genuine smile. All of this plays into it.
All adds up.
And don't forget that follow-up question, where are you from?
Oh, yeah.
That's gold. It's a simple question, but it opens up a whole world of possibilities. Culture, travel, shared experiences.
It's like a window.
Exactly.
Right into their background.
Yeah.
Okay, what about polite phrases? The guide calls this the secret sauce.
That's good. I like that.
Right. Just make things flow. And it focuses on please and thank you, which, pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
But I guess, like, are there nuances to how you use them?
Oh, huge nuances. Like in some cultures, they use them constantly, right?
Yeah.
Please, thank you, even for the smallest things. And in others, it's more formal, right?
Okay.
So yeah, being mindful of that can help you avoid, stepping on toes.
Right. Showing respect, too. And they mention how you're welcome is almost like a reflex response to thank you.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But I've noticed sometimes people say, no problem, or it's my pleasure. Is there a difference there?
That's interesting you say that. There is a difference. So you're welcome. That's like the formal one, right?
Okay.
The traditional one, no problem, is much more casual.
Okay.
And it's my pleasure is like, hey, I really wanted to help you out.
Yeah.
So choosing the right one, it all depends, right? On the situation, your relationship with the person.
So even something like you're welcome has like all these different meanings.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's crazy. Now, let's talk about asking for help.
Okay.
The guide emphasizes, like, it's a strength.
Yes.
Not a weakness, right?
Absolutely.
To ask for help.
Right.
But I think a lot of people, especially if you're like learning the language, you're learning English.
Yeah.
It can be hard to admit, you know, that you don't understand something.
It's a vulnerable thing.
Yeah.
It's a vulnerable thing to do. But remember, everyone needs help sometimes, right?
Right.
And in a lot of cultures, being able to ask for that help, that's actually seen as a sign of intelligence, of humility.
Right. Okay. So how do you do it effectively?
Right.
How do you ask for help?
Yeah.
The guide suggests, can you help me? I mean, that's pretty direct.
It is. It's direct. But it gets the job done. Right.
But you can also be like a little softer, I guess.
Oh, yeah. You can definitely soften it up a little bit. Like, excuse me, I was wondering if you could help me. Or if you're in a more formal setting, you could say, I'd really appreciate your assistance with this.
Yeah.
It's about finding that balance, right?
Right.
Clarity and being polite.
Right. Okay. What about when you, like, don't understand something someone said?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever been in a situation where you just, like, nod and smile?
All the time.
Even though you have No clue what's going on.
Oh, constantly. I think we all have. But it's okay to ask for clarification.
Right.
It's totally fine. You can say things like, I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Yeah.
Could you repeat that, please?
Okay.
These are important tools to have in your back pocket.
Yeah. And they also suggest, what does that mean?
Oh, that's a good one.
If you've like hear a word, you're like, what?
I've never heard that word before.
Yeah.
I love that because it's like instant vocabulary expansion
Yeah.
on the fly. You're learning in real time.
Real time. Yeah, exactly.
And don't be afraid to use your hands, point to things.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything to get your meaning across.
At the point across, yeah. So to avoid a misunderstanding,
Yes.
it's good to just be willing to be like, hey, can you repeat that? Or what does that mean?
Totally.
Or help me.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Now let's move on to like a situation. I think we all run into this.
Okay.
At a store or a restaurant.
Yeah.
Right. And they point out some phrases in the guide that can just make things go smoother.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the most important ones, I think, is how much does this cost? It seems obvious,
Yeah.
but it's crucial. It's crucial for understanding the prices and avoiding any surprises when you get to the cash register, right?
Right.
And don't be shy to ask for clarification if you're unsure about something.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if there's like a sale
Yeah,
or a discount, you can be like, is this the final price?
exactly.
Are there any like extra charges?
Yes. Be upfront. Be upfront about it.
Yeah. It's better to ask. They recommend too that when you're ready to order to buy something,
Yeah.
use I'd like.
It's so simple, but it's polite.
Yeah. It sounds a lot better than like just pointing at something
Oh, yeah.
and be like, give me that.
Absolutely. You don't want to do that.
And I remember when I was first learning English, I always struggled with like, when you're at a restaurant, how do you ask for the bill?
Oh, yeah.
I never knew how to say it.
Right. They remind us in the guide, the standard phrase is, can I have the bill, please?
It's simple. And of course, where is a lifesaver
Oh, yeah.
in so many situations, especially when you're desperately searching for the restroom?
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny how you can use that phrase for so many different things.
Absolutely.
Like if you're in a store, where is this product?
Yeah.
Or you're lost, where is?
Where am I?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Speaking of like finding your way around.
Okay.
Let's talk about phrases you use to like talk about yourself,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Sharing information. That's how you connect with people, right?
Yeah.
Keeps the conversation going.
Right. You're giving people a glimpse into like who you are, what makes you tick.
Right, right. And they highlight the simple I am
Yeah.
to tell people about yourself, like your job.
Your hobbies, your profession.
Yeah, yeah. It seems, again, so simple,
Yeah.
but it's like a starting point,
Right.
right? To like more deeper conversations.
Deeper conversations. Absolutely. So like if you say, I am a musician,
Yeah.
then like, oh, okay.
What kind?
Yeah. What instrument do you play?
Right.
What bands do you like?
Exactly. It's like those little threads, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that connect us all.
Yeah. And they mention, I like.
Yeah.
My favorite is.
Classic conversation starters.
Those are classic.
For sure.
Like imagine someone asks you, what kind of food do you like?
Right.
Oh, I like.
Yeah.
And then you go on and on
And it takes off from there.
about restaurants or,
Yeah, cuisines. It's all about finding those things you have in common.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And even if you have different preferences, it can be fun to explore those differences.
Yeah, totally.
Right. Learn something new about each other.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Exactly.
think it's cool.
So talking about yourself,
Mhm.
it's not just like, here's my name.
No.
Here's my job.
Mhm.
It's about like what you're passionate about.
Exactly. Sharing your passions, your interests, and inviting others to do the same.
Okay. What about asking questions?
Oh, yeah. That's key.
Right.
Asking questions, it shows that you're genuinely interested in the other person, what they have to say. And it takes the conversation beyond just talking about yourself, right?
Right.
So it's a much more engaging dynamic, I think.
They remind us of the classics, right?
Yeah.
What's your name? Where you from? But I guess there are other questions you can ask, right?
Of course, of course.
Be a little more creative.
Yeah. Instead of just, what do you do? Which is fine.
Yeah.
But you could say, what are you passionate about?
Right.
Or what project are you working on that you're excited about?
Right.
You're getting past the surface level, right?
Right. Exactly.
You're inviting them to share their dreams, their passions,
I like that.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. It's more interesting.
It is more interesting.
And they mentioned, do you like?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I feel like You can ask that about anything.
Anything. That's the beauty of it,
Yeah.
right? It's open-ended. Do you like coffee? Do you like traveling? I mean, the possibilities are endless.
And then you just keep going from there,
Yeah.
based on their answer. They say, yeah, I love coffee.
Right.
What's your favorite kind?
What's your go-to coffee shop?
Not exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about, being a good listener,
Yeah.
picking up on what they're saying.
Picking up on the cues.
Yeah. So asking questions thoughtfully is how you keep the conversation going.
Exactly. You're showing genuine interest,
Right.
and you're inviting them to share their experiences, their views on things.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a two-way street.
It is. And sometimes the most basic questions, like, what time is it?
Yeah.
It's important because sometimes you just need information, right?
Right.
So it's a reminder that communication, it's also practical, right?
Okay. So we've covered greetings,
Yeah.
asking questions,
Mm-hmm.
but there's one more important thing, right?
There is. How about expressing your feelings and opinions?
Yeah, exactly. It's a big one. So it's about sharing your world, right?
Yeah.
Your inner world, both the good and the bad, I guess.
Yeah, the emotions, the thoughts. This is how you build a real connection with somebody. The guide points out that even a simple phrase like, I'm happy,
Yeah.
or I'm tired, it can be so powerful.
Right.
You know?
It's being real with people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Being honest about how you feel.
Okay. And then for opinions,
Yeah.
they suggest using I think.
I think, yeah, it's a great starting point.
Correct.
Because you're not being pushy, right? You're
Yeah.
not being like, this is the way it is.
Right, yeah.
You're saying, this is my perspective.
This is what I think.
But I'd love to hear what you think too.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then when you really love or hate something,
Oh, yeah.
they highlight I love,
Yeah.
I don't like.
Those are strong.
Yeah.
They add that emotional depth,
Yeah.
You're not just saying, I prefer this. You're saying, I'm passionate about this.
Right.
Or, I really dislike this. Yeah. So it brings more to the table.
Like if you say, I love trying new restaurants, people are like, oh, this person's fun.
Let's go with them.
Let's go. Yeah.
Exactly. It's an invitation to connect on a deeper level and share those things that bring us joy.
Right. Exactly. So it's important to share your feelings, good or bad,
Absolutely.
because that's how you really connect with people.
It is. It is. It's about being authentic, being vulnerable, inviting others to do the same.
Be real.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be real. And, just as important as expressing how we feel is knowing how to, end the conversation.
Oh, yeah. Say goodbye.
Yeah. Say goodbye. It sounds simple, but it really affects how people see you, the impression you leave.
That's true. I never thought about it that way. Like how important your goodbye is.
It's huge. A well-chosen goodbye shows you care, and
Yeah.
it sets the stage for next time,
Yeah, I get it.
It's like the last note of a song. You remember it.
Right. Okay. So how do you pick the right goodbye? The guide mentions goodbye, right? Which, everyone says that, but I guess there are other ways to say it.
Goodbye is always safe, formal, polite. It's clear the conversation is over,
Right.
but sometimes see you later or talk to you soon, that's better, especially if you're going to see them again.
Yeah, it's more casual. Like you'll see them around.
Exactly. Keeps the connection going. What about take care?
Oh, yeah. That one's warmer.
Right. It shows you actually care about them, their well-being. It's nice if you won't see them for a while or if they're going through something.
Yeah. Okay. And then there's, have a nice day.
Oh, yeah.
I always like it when people say that.
It's a classic. It just brightens your day, even if it's just the cashier,
Yeah.
Just a little reminder that even small interactions can make a difference.
So basically saying goodbye is more than just ending the talk.
Yeah.
It's about leaving them with a good feeling.
Yeah.
Making them want to talk to you again.
Exactly. Choosing the right words to really show what you mean. Now, we've talked about these everyday phrases, but here's something even cooler. They can tell us a lot about a culture.
Really?
Oh, yeah. What seems like a simple greeting or a thank you, it can be a window into what they value, their social rules, what's expected.
Wow. I never thought about it that way. Like we just say these things, we don't think about it.
Right, but they speak volumes about how people communicate, how they interact. Do you want some examples from different cultures?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, take, how are you? In some places, it's just being polite. You say, I'm fine, and that's it. But in other cultures, they really want to know. They expect you to tell them how you're feeling.
So the same phrase, how are you, can lead to a totally different conversation.
Exactly. It all depends where you are, who you're talking to.
That's crazy.
And even saying thank you, it's different everywhere. Sometimes thank you is enough, but sometimes you need to say more, or even give a small gift.
It's like there's a whole other meaning behind the words.
Exactly. It's like a secret code. And if you know the code, it can really help, especially if you're talking to people from different cultures. You avoid misunderstandings, you build better relationships, you show respect.
It's like having a key, to unlock what they really mean.
Now, Oliver, think about how to use these phrases strategically to get what you want in different situations.
So, like, the phrases, but you're using them to get things done.
Right, exactly. Let's start with work. Using please and thank you all the time, it just makes things better, more positive. People feel respected.
Right. It shows you appreciate them.
Yeah. What if you need help with something? From your boss or a coworker, that can be hard to do.
It can be, yeah.
You need to be clear, but also respectful, right? So you can say, would you mind helping me with this?
Yeah.
Or could you clarify this for me? It gets the point across, but you're not demanding.
Right. Okay, what about sharing your opinion at work?
That's a tricky one. It's all about the tone, the words you use. You want people to hear you, but you don't want to be aggressive.
Right.
So you can try, I think. Or, in my opinion, it softens it, It's like you're suggesting, not ordering.
Right. It's a conversation, not a command.
Exactly. So even at work, these simple phrases can be powerful tools. They help you build relationships, work together better, get things done.
Yeah, I see that. Okay, what about in social situations, like you're at a party or you're meeting new people?
Oh, yeah, good one. You can use open-ended questions, like what do you do for fun or what are you passionate about? That gets people talking.
Right.
They share their hobbies, what they care about. It makes for good conversation.
Yeah, and you got to listen, right? Really listen.
Oh, absolutely. Active listening is key. You can say, that's interesting, or tell me more about that. It shows you're paying attention, you care about what they have to say.
Right. Makes them feel important.
Exactly. You're creating a space where everyone feels heard, valued. That's how you connect with people.
Okay. What about saying goodbye in a social situation? Is that important too?
Oh, it can be. You want to leave a good impression, so you can say something like, it was great meeting you,
Okay.
Or I enjoyed our conversation. Just a little something to let them know you appreciated the chat.
Right. It's like putting a nice bow on the conversation.
Yeah.
So basically, it doesn't matter if it's work or a party or just everyday life. The words we use matter, right?
They do. They really do. It's about using language to connect with people, build relationships, get what you want.
It's wild, right? These basic phrases, we don't even think about them, but they're like so powerful.
It is. It's like once you start digging deeper, there's this whole other level to language.
Yeah, and what's even crazier, you can like mix and match these phrases, right?
Absolutely. The possibilities are endless. It's not just about memorizing a list. It's about understanding how it all works.
Yeah, like having the right tool for the job.
Exactly. And the more you use them, the better you get at it. Communicating your ideas, getting what you want.
Okay, so let's like paint a picture for our listener.
Okay, I like it.
Show them how this works in real life.
Let's say our listener's traveling.
Okay.
Somewhere new, like a market in a different country, all these sights and smells,
Yeah, total sensory overload.
They want to experience it all.
Okay.
Now, they see this vendor selling beautiful crafts.
Okay.
And there's this one thing they really like.
Uh-huh.
But they're not sure how to approach the vendor or how much it costs.
Yeah, what do they do?
So first, make eye contact, smile, be friendly. Then try saying, excuse me, I'm interested in this. Could you tell me more about it?
Okay, so start a conversation. Show you respect their work.
Right.
I want to find out the price.
Just ask, how much does this cost?
Straightforward.
And even if you don't speak the same language, a smile and some gestures can go a long way.
Yeah, true. Okay, now our listener's hungry. They want to try the street food.
Okay, great.
But they have no idea what to get.
Right. Find a stall that looks good and just say, excuse me, what do you recommend? Or what's popular here?
Okay, so be open to suggestions.
Yeah, show you're interested in their culture, their food.
And if they see something that looks good?
Point to it and say, I'd like to try that, please.
Easy peasy.
And don't forget please and thank you.
Thank you.
Basic manners, but they mean a lot.
Okay. Now they want to find a famous landmark, but they're lost.
Okay. Find someone who looks local and say, excuse me, I'm looking for the whatever the landmark is called. Could you please tell me how to get there?
All right, so be polite, ask for help,
Yeah. And if you don't understand the directions.
ask them to repeat.
Exactly.
All right.
Or could you show me on a map?
Good tip.
And hey, even if you get lost or things get mixed up, just laugh it off. That's part of the adventure, right?
Traveling is all about exploring, learning new things.
Exactly.
So even if you don't speak the language perfectly, you can still get around, meet people, have a great time.
Absolutely.
Just by using these basic phrases. It's like communication is a human thing, you know? We all do it.
It is. It connects us no matter where we're from, what language we speak.
So there you have it. Don't underestimate the power of these basic English phrases. They're not just words. They're like keys.
Tools.
Yeah. Tools to connect with people, understand each other, explore the world, use them confidently, have fun with it. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how you learn.
Absolutely.
That's all for our deep dive into essential English phrases. We hope you learned something new. And we'll see you next time for another deep dive into something interesting.